This is Michaela McLean, and you're listening to Beauty by Design. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. We are going to get into our next gate, but before we do, I just want to let you know my Golden Experience Guide course that will be called Your Energetic Marketing Guide comes out this Saturday, April 15th. I'm so excited about this. The course is really taking you through your chart, really taking estheticians through their chart. Of course, all the basics, type, strategy, authority, so on and so forth. But we get into brand pillars and oh goodness, your profile. Like if you want more in-depth content, like this is for you. And Ashley was saying, Ageless Ashley, she was like, this is a master class because it's like so much content for this mini course style. So of course, I mean, again, you listen to my show, it's like I'm always bringing like 10 times the amount of information. You know what I'm saying? That's my line one style. I want to give you all. So there is a lot in this. It's very robust. I included a meditation to prepare you to, go through the course, a yoga nidra to integrate everything at the end, even worksheet to that I'm calling the equation of you. When you want to put all the pieces together, that's to me the most exciting part. My North Node is in Gate 33, and I always call it my synthesizer. Like that's how my brain works. I piece all of these things together. And so to kind of help walk people through that, to basically walk them through what I kind of like do in my head naturally is very fun. So, and then basically the whole point of it is to recognize what it is within yourself that differentiates you, that makes you so special and unique, especially as estheticians, or just aesthetic professionals. There's so many of us. It's like, what is that thing? I like to say it's like, well, anybody can do a hydrofacial or anyone can dermaplane or, whatever the service is, right? Of course, the client or the patient wants the service, but really like they're so beyond that, they're attracted to you and your energy. So who are you naturally? What are your natural strengths and gifts that we want to, I'm liking to say, strengthen the signal, like turn up the volume on this, like really focus in and amplify what is amazing about you already and make it even more seen and available for everyone, because it's like if you, the girl across the street, the one down the road, everybody's doing a hydrofacial, like what is it about you that's going to draw in your golden clients and actually have them basically be able to find you? So it's literally for everyone in this industry. Really, if you're trying to figure out how to differentiate, number one. Number two, if you're switching roles, somebody like myself, Agent RX, stepping into like different phases. We've all been in this a long time and, still being in the aesthetics industry, but moving into like a different position within it, a different role, maybe stepping out of the treatment room. If you're holistic, if you're medical, if you're the spa owner and you have a team of estheticians working for you and you need to figure out how do I promote each one to the best of their abilities, this course is for you. Like it's it's good. I'm proud of this work. And what's cool about it too is like it's the beginning of all of the things that I want to teach. So this is scratching the surface. It's a lot of content, but it's scratching the surface of everything that's going to be coming in the very near future. So super excited, like I said. Pay attention, Saturday, it's coming out. If that at all appeals to you, right? I'm like, get it, grab it. I will be on Good Skin Circle this week to promote it. And then I believe at the end of the month, I think it's April 30th, there will be a free golden hour that's going to be based around this course and get to talk and answer questions. So if that also interests you, pay attention, at Golden Experience Guide. I'll link that in the show notes, but come join us. You can ask me questions directly. Of course, you can always, hit me up on Instagram at Michaela McLean. So just all the different ways that you can, yeah, get into it. So very, very, very excited about that. Of course, there are my free guide. You can start there. Best place, best place to get started. And the free guide, again, link in show notes, link in Instagram bio at Michaela McLean. That's going to lead you through, once you have your chart, you're like, okay, what am I? And then if that hooks you, it'll take you right to your $11 Aura type masterclass. Yoga Nidra for energetic beauty sleep, all kinds of things. Like I said, so much more coming. So many things are in the works. Just so excited. And some stuff with Little Fox. Yay, Little Fox Beauty, my favorite, favorite, favorite brand. Yeah. So anyway, let's get on to the episode. I'm wrapping it up. That's what this gate is about. Okay. So, of course, your reminder, my disclaimer, don't try to understand this at the mental level. This is about my voice, sound current, all of this information just sinking into your cells like good skincare. So just relax, zone out, don't stress. Okay, so today the sun is progressing through Aries and into the human design gate 42, which is located in the sacral center, and it's part of the collective sensing or abstract circuitry. So this is the more yin, feminine, experiential, intuitive, receptive side of the chart that is focused on basically reflecting on and making sense of the past, like what has occurred. And I also like to say of the abstract circuitry, it's like been there, done that, got the t-shirt, what's next? So the sacral is the major motor center of the body graph. It's responsible for generating sustainable life force that powers up the whole world. It is the center for creation and vitality. The sacral's energy is available to respond to the correct things. That's very key. And this is, about growth, growing things. The sustainability of the sacral is about growing something over time. So 42 is known as increase. It's the gate of growth. And the keynote from the Red Book, it closes a cycle and brings things to an end. So this is about reaching the conclusion of a cycle or a phase before moving on to the next one. I always think this gate kind of has this wrapping up loose ends kind of vibe. So the low expression of this could show up as being unaware that you have this need for closure. It could also express as entering into commitments that are not correct for you, of course, based on your strategy and authority. Because once you do, it's very hard to remove yourself from it. And it, can basically keep repeating, keep looping on itself until you've dealt with it properly and appropriately. So when this gate is alone, without the other half of the channel, the gate 53, it can have trouble just getting started, which leads to frustration, generated cape word. Basically it's also like avoid attaching great expectations to anything in life when you have the 42. I mean, that's general for everyone, but especially for the 42, basically it's like enjoying the journey is huge. And then, coming to that natural conclusion before moving on. All right, so the high expression is using the lessons of your lived experience to learn from and add to. It's basically this constant up leveling with each energetic cycle that you finish. So you think of like the end of the year recap, the Spotify Wrapped or something. It's like, all right, we're reviewing, we're looking back. What went well? What didn't? Reviewing, getting closure before moving on. 42 has this great staying power with an ability to go the distance and commit to the completion of whatever the task at hand is. I always see it as like somebody who, just is like that. They get things done. They get it done. They grab the baton and take it across the finish line. So it's, very much growing and nurturing something to its fullest expression and then putting a bow on it, done and dusted. I'm like, is that again, I'm married to a European, like, Brit, so I'm like, "Is that like a is that a saying from the UK, done and dusted?" I love that one, but I'm like, "Do Americans say that?" I don't I sometimes you're like, where did that come from?" Anyway, so done and dusted. There's a maturity to this, basically learning and growing from your experiences, both the mistakes and the successes, and then sharing the wisdom with others. It's like the full moon phase. It's total, like, all right, where we're done. We've hit the peak of it and wrap it up. So it's reaping what you've sown, but again, it's not about the end goal, it's about the experience. So in the gene keys, the shadow is expectation, the gift is detachment, and the city is celebration. So in the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd talks about the detachment, of course, from the expectation, from some imagined outcome. And like I said, this is part of the collective abstract circuitry. It's about the experience, the journey, not this, theoretical perfect destination. So of 42, he says, if you have the 42nd gene key, you're here to know the human drama. The central player in this drama is always the same character for all of us: death. All roads lead to death. This gene key is about our relationship to death. The Eastern cultures have a huge advantage over us because most of them have figured out the secrets of incarnation and reincarnation. It's part of their culture, and this makes a huge difference to the drama and the relationship to it. If we know that we're just an actor and will return again to play another role in another play, the detachment will be much easier for us. Without this key insight, we can really suffer more. If we believe, as the materialist, that when we die, it's the end, that can lead to one of two possibilities. One is that we make the most of every moment and create our life as a work of art, a life dedicated to beauty. The other is that we decide to be selfish and get what we want for ourselves because there isn't anything else. The former scenario is rare, and the latter is a hallmark of our modern worldview. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment at every turn. We begin life with hope, and hope can be a beautiful thing until our mind gets a hold of it. Hope is the energy of evolution at work in us, the impulse to improve our lives and help others. When our mind starts to shape and that hope into specific ambitions and ideas, and those outcomes don't play out the way we wish, it engenders huge disappointment. Disappointment can become a worldview, and the world is filled with disappointed people who have stopped trusting in life, in their hearts, and in others' hearts. The second is that we believe we're in control of our life and can therefore direct it through pure force of will. Both are doomed to disappointment. Whichever way we turn, we'll find disappointment. And then we run out of energy and time. The shadow can sound so depressing because it's hooked into the drama, but it's all for a good purpose. The true purpose of expectation and disappointment is to teach us the rare art of letting go. Detachment is about desire. We have subtle layers of desire, and we have to move through layer after layer and let go of each one. We begin to use the props that nature supplies to increase our love. That's the upper level of detachment, and detachment is a long road. The gift frequency has many layers of subtlety to it. When we reach the city, it's basically an ending. But the gift is a journey of refinement. As we become more detached, we ironically become more playful with the Maya, the drama. We engage more with life and its richness and become a whole human, loving life, loving mystery, and loving whatever life delivers because we know it's all for our highest purpose. To know that everything that happens is for our further refinement is a magical and beautiful stage to reach. We become a master of letting go, and nothing clings to us. We become joyous and more human and loving and compassionate. Again, he's just a poet with his words. I love Richard Rudd. Okay, so notes here. This is part of a generated channel, so generator rules apply. It's about being in response to the correct things, to the right things. It's yes or no, either or. So he's saying, a generator, it's like you're waiting to respond what's been put in front of you. And is that the thing that's like, yes, okay, I want to take that across the finish line. So if the skate is by itself, it's just hanging, right? You've got the 42, but you do not have the opposite side, the 53, which we're about to talk about. It can carry some, potential themes of depression because it has difficulty getting things started, right? Not being able to begin. So, of course, this is one that's about reflection, part of that abstract sensing, looking back. So journaling would be a really great thing. And I was actually listening here. I'm talking about Golden Experience Guide at the beginning, talking about my friend Ageless Ashley, and I was listening to her podcast, and she mentioned today something about a to-do list, not a to-do list, a to-do list. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is it's perfect timing. It's gate 42. It's actually looking back, giving yourself credit. Like, what did I do? What did I accomplish? And yeah, giving, you know what I mean? Like giving yourself kudos, like, I got something done today versus always looking at it like, oh my gosh, I have, so much more to get done. So I really like that. I was like, that's very appropriate for this gate. 42 is part of format energy. So there are three channels in the body graph that connect the root to the sacral, and they are called format energy. One is individual, one's collective, one's logic. And well, I mean, excuse me, one is individual, the other two are collective, one of them being the logic and one of them being abstract. We're talking about the abstract one here. Sorry, I don't know what I just said. They color or flavor every other gate and channel in their circuit. So they're like literally the root of the energy flowing through these when I talk about the circuitry, right? Um so yeah, it's like it just carries throughout. So in this case, like I said, this is the beginning of the non-attachment of all of the abstract, really just enjoying the ride and reflecting later. Okay, so the programming partner, meaning if the sun is in 42, the earth is automatically opposite in Libra 32, right? 42 and 32. So 32 is known as duration. It's the gate of continuity. And this one has a fear of failure. It's awareness of what can or cannot be transformed. And that fear of failure basically holding you back in life. So it very much sees what is valuable, what's worth the time and effort, and what is not. I always talk about it as like the talent scout of the tribe. It's got this gift of recognizing who do they know, who's in your group that has the necessary gifts, skills, or education to be successful at something. And then using its natural, you know, ability to persuade, and make sure that those people are seen and appreciated for their abilities by people or, organizations higher up the food chain, which will help basically, elevate the entire group. It's always evaluating what is and isn't working and striving to striving to improve. So, again, the 32, it has this major fear of failure thing going on. It can have big dreams, afraid to pursue them, questions like, how do I keep things going along safely and successfully? Meanwhile, change is the only constant in life. And so there's that fear, there's the anxiety. It knows there's always potential for failure. And what does failure mean? Like not good things. But they've just got to be open to this, like, evolution to improve. And it's about endurance, basically just continuity, keep going as long as you are so dialed into something and have that real true belief that it will be successful. It's one foot in front of the other. So definitely about the intuitive sense of like, yes, this is good. Let's put our energy behind it and then keep it going. So the gate that completes the channel is Cancer, gate 53, and this forms the channel of maturation. So 53 is known as development. It's the gate of beginnings. And the keynote for this one is the pressure to begin, to start new things. So this is all about the root pulse. It's the right timing to get started. So 53 is, like I said, it's our channel partner to 42. So this is all about the start, not the finish. It's get it off the ground energy. You're not required to take it across the finish line. This is the first person that starts with the baton in the relay race. They get it up, they get it moving, get it on its feet. A lot of times people that have this gate in contrast, their sort of frustration and maybe potential like melancholy and stuff is like they're starting things that they never finish. or they feel like they do, or they've been conditioned, like told that their entire lives. Oh, you never finish anything, right? Yeah. So, I mean, clearly this is where those issues come from. But that's the whole point. These people are the ones that are like supposed to just get it off the ground. So, of course, following your strategy and authority, this is going to ensure that you enter into these new cycles that are correct for you, that you start something new that's correct. So, yeah, and in the Gene Keys with this one, Richard Rudd really talks about the importance of intention behind every new beginning. This has been a theme with some, like, talking to my friends. Ash and Alex, hey, what's up? Um, the intentions behind whatever you're doing. So whatever that new start is, it's like, he talks about the purest and highest vibration that you're really putting good into it. So I think of these two. 53 is kind of like the new moon, and 42 is like the full moon. I'm setting intentions, and 42 is like I reap what I sow. So when, the two come together, 53 is essentially it's the adrenalized pulsing pressure of the root connecting up to that pure and consistent power of the 42 in the sacral for the purpose of completing cycles. So, like I said, the energy is cyclical and it's that spiral of life. 53 is a pressure to like get something done, and 42 provides the power, the sustainable power to get the thing done. So, when the two come together to form the channel of maturation, it's about waiting to respond, right? Because side note, if you have this full channel, you can only be a generator and or manifesting generator, because you'll have your sacral defined if you have this. So the whole thing, it's like waiting. So that's the rule. Wait to respond, wait for things in your external reality to cross your path, give you something to respond to, give you something to get lit up about, get excited about. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Boom. You're going to wait to respond and then see each life cycle through to completion, and then reflect on that cycle. This is not about setting goals. It's about living life. And what did I learn? What wisdom have I acquired to build on for the next time or the next generation? So it's very much about leaning into the life cycles and the wisdom that it brings. So again, very imperative that these people fully subscribe to their strategy and authority. I wait to respond. And then it's either going to be, because like I said, generator, manifest, and generator, one and the same. It's like it's either sacral or you're sleeping on it to be like, you know, okay, how do I feel about this? Or what did my sacral say to this? And so when you enter into something new, it's like, you got the correct signal to the green light to go ahead and commit your energy to this experience, and then follow it to completion. Otherwise, if you're quitting things, um, oh my goodness, if you're quitting things, basically you're going to be met with these same lessons or experiences just in a different form, like a karmic loop. It's Groundhog's Day, like basically, I didn't handle it. I didn't fully complete this thing. And so here it comes again, just different form, different person, different situation. And yet it's like the same story. So really seeing things all the way through. And then at the end of it all, it's correct to share these findings with the collective, because this is a collective energy, and it basically helps further humanity as a whole. So astrologically, this would be an Aries. That's our 42. Cancer is our 53. So it's an Aries Cancer square. Those are both cardinal signs, meaning challenge, challenge and friction for the sake of growth, right? So this is also happening in the first quarter of the wheel, the quarter of initiation. It's the mind. And I just thought about this. I was like, yeah, how much of like getting it done is really about, basically it's in our minds. And then also that element of the expectation. It's like letting go of the expectation, shedding that so that you can reach into the cycle and like be like, okay, I'm going to celebrate, to use Gene keywords. It's like, I'm going to celebrate the ending. I'm going to do the ta-da, this is what I got done. Versus, kind of being up in your mind about, and kind of in that place of great expectations that don't fulfill themselves. because that's not, you know what I mean? That's the mind creating it versus like living the experience. And this is the disclaimer that I put every time where I'm like, don't worry about understanding this from the mind. I know human design is a very intellectual system, and yet it's designed to be lived through the body as an experience. So, do you have this game? If you have it, it is the sacral is the second square box up from the bottom on the chart. It's going to be on the left hand side on the bottom, aiming down to the 53. So 53, 42, they connect. If you have 42, it's going to be black or red and black. That means you have, if it's colored in, you've got it somewhere in your chart. If it's white, you do not have it. Say, I have no part of this. I don't have the 53 or the 42. I do have the gate 32 a couple of times, but I don't have any part of this channel. So, what's your experience with it? I would love to hear what endings mean to you, and when you close things out, does that make sense? And when you don't, these people, I always find these people are very attuned to like truly to cycles, way more than the rest of us. Like, oh, okay, I finished this and I'm on to a new chapter of my life. Like way more dialed into that, I think than like say somebody like me who doesn't have any part of it. So yeah. Anyway, hit me up on Instagram, let me know. Of course, I will be back soon with more. If the episode brought you some value, I'd love it if you would leave it a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcast. Basically helps it get out to more people. Yeah, get that wisdom and knowledge out to more. If you would like to learn more human design, check out my free guide. Check out the $11 master classes. Those links are in the show notes and in my Instagram bio. And more ways to work with me are coming very soon. Golden Experience Guide comes out, like I said, this Saturday. More educational things are very much on the way in the very near future. So piece by piece, it's all coming. You can follow me over on Instagram at Michaela McLean and get all the links that you need either in the show notes or in my bio. Of course, until next time, have a beautiful day.